Okay, guys and gals, about 10 seconds of the obligatory disclaimer. If you want to read the whole thing, just pause the video. Okay, everybody, let's take a look at the S&P 500. These are the E-mini S&P 500 Index Futures March 2022 contracts, /ES. We're looking at the daily chart. I talked about this yesterday when I thought that coming into January 13th approximately on this cycle low right here, that we would see prices come down. Well, they definitely came down 2 sessions ago, or I should say 1 session ago. This is a new session that just started right here. And yesterday I said, what are we going to get just prices tracking along to 50, which looks like that's what's happening right now? Or will it break below? Because both are, a sign of at least some degree of weakness. All right, we tracked sideways after we busted up, 60, 70 points here, whatever it was, all-time new highs. Okay, then we tracked sideways, and then we came back down to the 50, okay? If you can't see that this is a manipulated market, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it came down and touched perfectly at the 50 today. Give me a break. It's like, give me a break. The old manipulated market, it's old already. To be honest with you, I find it boring. Lots of money to be made, but predictable and boring. But in any case, like I said yesterday, be aware of 113. And then out here is like February 3rd-ish. So maybe like February 1st through or 2nd through like the 8th. Yeah, you want to keep an eye on that area right there, right? And nothing's changed. I mean, I see that there's a little bit of weakness going on here. Short-term indicators on the Big Daddy looking like it might want to come up. A little bit of room left in this, maybe, perhaps. Okay. So at least for the moment, looks like prices are just kind of sitting on the 50. Now, whether or not they break below that, we'll have to see. But regardless of what this does for the next few days, I still think there's going to be weakness coming into the middle of January. Okay, let's look at the weekly. We're going to keep this very simple today, guys, because there's really not much has not changed since yesterday. And this is exactly the same as yesterday. Other than the fact that, let me switch over to the other drawing set, which is the weekly. Right, I think if I remember right, it's the 16th. Yeah, January 16th. So I don't know if the 16th falls on a weekend or not. It doesn't really matter. The point being, as I said yesterday, the same thing applies today. The picture hasn't changed. 113 on the daily, 116 on the weekly. Okay, so that's for me is a, again, middle of January looks, like we'd see a degree of weakness. Let's look at the monthly here. The monthly, that one is way out in June. So that's June 30th of 2022 for this big old monthly cycle. So nothing really to talk about there. But on these indicators, there is divergence galore. Okay, divergence galore in the monthly chart, guys, and it hasn't gone away, and it's still there. And I suspect we will see price decline. Hasn't happened yet, but long-term monthly chart looks like price decline is in the future. Okay, so I do expect to see the S&P 500 at some point come back down and touch the 50-month. Okay, whatever. However it happens, this will come back down and touch this 50. Okay, will it be within, this is 1 full year, by the way, right here. This right in here, this whole area here is 1 full year, right? Will it come down and touch this 50 in 2022? I don't know, we'll see. But it's going to happen. And right now that stands to be 1,500 points. So I said this, last week or week and a half or 2 weeks ago, Christmas, New Year's, on the Christmas and New Year's break, and even before that, I said expect to see the stock market come down 1,000 points. And I think that's being conservative. Only question is when. Okay, because it's going to happen. And it's getting more and more likely as time goes forward. Because this divergence hasn't gone away. And this is beginning to now look like it's basically leveled off. Okay, it's no longer going this way. Okay, yeah, so maybe not tomorrow, next week, or even next month we're going to see a 1,000-point decline, but it's coming. Okay, premium members, let's switch over to the hourly chart. And la-di-da, look at this, guys. Look at this. Ba-bam, wham. Look at this. Even this working its way down. I mean, you know, this is just really good cycle, guys. I mean, if you can't see that cycle was called right there. Now, they all don't have this big of an event. Okay, some of them are small like that one. I shouldn't even say that's not small. It's smaller than this one. But look at that, even that event. Here's one that's fairly small as far as duration, but still had pretty good movement. So don't ignore the hourly cycles, guys, because they're there. They're going to make, usually more times than not, have a movement. This one would happen to be huge and early. Okay. We call this a left-hand translation, meaning it only got to about a third of the way through, or it's on the left-hand side of the middle point, and then it. So that's normally we'd call this a very weak cycle. All right. Now on the hourly, the prices have just absolutely chucked sideways. Okay, all day long. This is the whole day right here. So all these prices have done the whole day is just go sideways. Okay, and it came down on the daily as we saw earlier in the video, and it touched the bottom of the wick touched the 50-day moving average. Boring, yawn, you know, whatever. Yeah, that's a free markets, guys. Just in case anybody wanted to know, if you look at the daily chart, okay, we'll take a quick flashback to the daily chart. Yeah, that right there, guys. That is a free market. Yeah, sure it is. Right. It's gotten to the point, guys, where it's so pathetic. I don't even. Yeah, I don't have a problem making money. It's just this whole scenario, the way that the whole market is manipulated, is a sad state of affairs. So anyway, the next hourly cycle low is projected to be January 10th around 11 a.m. Texas time, Central Standard Time here in the United States. So keep that in mind. Okay, that's right there. Okay, go back, pause the video. January 10th. Okay. Yeah, January 10th around 10 o'clock in the morning, maybe 11 o'clock in the morning. Let's see, what did it say here? Yeah, here's 11 a.m. So somewhere within a few hours of that, guys, right? You don't have to be so exact. Could be anywhere from 8 a.m. all the way up to like noon or 1 o'clock. Texas time, okay? Central Standard Time. So be aware of that. All right, today is the 6th. As I'm doing this video, the new session started. These 3 candlesticks of the new session. So be aware of that. January 10th, okay, over here. Another cycle lows due for the hourly. So on the hourly, you know, this is showing, the indicators are indicating strength, but at the moment it doesn't look very strong. You know, there has been some price going up on the average, so. Okay, but it's not super strong. It's not like it rebounded all the way back up to this level up here, which is 47.80-ish. Okay. But I can see it coming up and hitting this 50-hour. It's kind of getting close to that now, and it could even go above it. It doesn't really matter. Okay. You just want to be aware of the cycle low over here, and you can take advantage of that. You can always trade short below the 50 and long above it, if you know. But just pay attention to that daily chart. Right now we are barely above it, but we are above it. So normally, guys, I'd say trade long above it. So, and trade short below it on the daily. So on the hourly, you want to do the same thing. But right now we're, coming in, approaching the 50-hour. Right. Right now at 47.02. Watt. 47.02. And the 50 hours at 47.28. So it's not too far away. 26 points. It could easily get to that, but this will keep coming down. If we don't get a strong impulse, then they'll probably eventually just kind of match up with each other, right? So again, be aware of the January 10th, the times I mentioned, and for now, we'd want to see if this gets rejected off the 50 and then traded short. If it goes above it, okay, that's a different story, and it's in alignment with the daily, right? Because the daily's still above the 50. So there's some strength right here, even though you're below the 50. Personally, I wouldn't trade it short below the 50 until I saw whether it got rejected. If it goes above it and stays above it for a few candlesticks, then you can trade it long. All right, that's it for now, guys and gals. Talk to you all real soon again next time.